In spring, azaleas blossom across the mountains, while dove tree flowers in full bloom sway in the breeze like birds in flight. Around mid-April of 2012, Taotao the panda completes his second phase of reintroduction into the wild based upon an assessment by a group of experts, and is scheduled to be transferred to the third phase with his mother, Tao Tao. Placing a cage in the enclosure, the staff spread bamboo shoots around to lure Tao Tao into the cage. Tao Tao is only interested in eating the food, unaware of what is going around her. Tao Tao hears his mother eating and approaches her slowly. He snatches bamboo from his mother. The conservation scientists put the food in the cage with the hope of attracting him inside. Tao Tao eventually enters the cage. Tao Tao, who's fairly light, is carried to the new base using ropes and carrying poles by 4 panda men. Tao Tao, being much heavier, has to be carried by 8 police officers. Emerging from his cage, Tao Tao explores his new environment with great curiosity. Tao Tao, on the other hand, races away out of sight. By 2011, the 3 panda cubs in the wild reintroduction program are already 7 and 8 months old. They learn how to climb trees by observing their mother. The friskiness fills the Wulong base with a sense of vigor and liveliness. At the summit of the Balang mountain, the snow hasn't melted yet. Against the chilly winds fly Tibetan sutra streamers.
我们这草木人，保护熊猫、大熊猫、野牛、骡子，山羊，獐子，
各种动物，它有多少都有
几百种
动物。
啊，动物
几百种动物它都不理。
要保护，我们这就是保护环保，就啥子都不能动。
For generations, the Tibetans have protected their local environment. Thanks to the environmentally friendly deeds, an exceptionally rich and diverse variety of biological resources have been preserved. After the 2008 earthquake, a new panda training base was set up at Shenshu Ping, causing 137 families to be resettled in Wulong, where a new Tibetan village was set up. The Tibetan residents' new homes were an eye-catching sight.
很多，房子也宽敞了。现在我们之前在上面的时候，房子才100多平，然后现在我们家整个1层2层搬下来280多平，环境也好了。我现在我爸爸在这儿工地上打工，我哥哥也在这里，我妈妈也在下面在工地上打工。以前都是我妈妈在家种地，然后我爸爸出去打工，一年的话也就是收入1万多块多一点。那现在我爸现在在工地上打工呢，他是100多一天，然后我哥哥也是，我妈妈也是，加上我们家差不多1个月就有1万多块钱收入。我在成都好几个工作，我觉得都不适合我呀，然后我就一直想回来我们这里面山好水好空气好。
Wulong has a watch that has stopped ticking, reminding people of the devastation that occurred during the earthquake. The earthquake with its power split the earth open and disfigured the mountains. For nearly half a year after the quake, the road from Yingxiu to Wulong was impassable. Aftershocks were a common occurrence, causing fresh mud and landslides, setting back any progress. Local horse caravans that have disappeared for years are back in service throughout the valley. People have worked tirelessly to repair the road to ensure logistical transportation remain unhindered. Meanwhile, post-quake reconstruction is in full swing, and with an eye to strengthening the rescue work and disease control of giant pandas, a new construction project of Giant Panda Disease Control and Prevention Center is launched at Zhujiangyan. Upon completion, the new facility is expected to house up to 40 giant pandas, where they will receive first aid treatment and convalescent treatment. Scientists will keep them under constant observation. The facility will cover over 12,000 square meters, comprising of 10 monitoring sheds and 30 other multi-purpose sheds. After the earthquake, the local government introduced the policy of reclaiming some farmland for bamboo cultivation. Mo Shijie began growing bamboo on his tiny household plot. Artificially grown bamboo has become a major staple for the giant pandas in captivity. To keep the giant pandas healthy, the staff also concocts a recipe for steamed bread made of ground bamboo powder and some other nutrients, which the pandas take an immediate liking to. At the panda base in Yan'an, cubs born the same year as Tao Tao are going through a different type of training from what Tao Tao has received.
从2010年开始，我们遵循那个优生优育新繁殖场那个地方，那个公主、爷爷、龙星、华美和那个菊孝，他们的小孩，然后跟着他们，一直到1岁半才分开。这跟以前我们的那种从半岁开始就离开母亲，然后传人工育幼相比，从那个幼崽体质，特别是像一些活动能力啊，这些精神状态要明显的好很多。
下一步就是尽快做那个模型，就是把那个天敌啊，就是云豹，金钱豹，当然更好的雪豹哈，把它做好。好。然后呢，把气味给涂上，还要把最好弄个遥控的声音，把这个培训把它做好。
The conservation scientists released Xiao Xi, another captive baby panda, into the third phase training base enclosure. They witness how Taotao reacts to Xiao Xi's arrival, first by visiting him, then sniffing him, then eventually chasing him, and finally ignoring him. Tao Tao is closely attached to his mother and likes to follow her wherever she goes. Although it has learned to eat bamboo, he still enjoys suckling from his mother. On September 7th, 2012, the State Forestry Administration holds a seminar assessing Tao Tao's gradual reintroduction to the wild. The experts conclude the young panda can be released into the wild since it exhibits normal behavior and has developed a series of basic survival skills such as foraging for food, identifying predators and companion animals, as well as the choice of its living space. On October 7th, Tao Tao is 2 years and 2 months old. The young panda enters the cage once more. This time, he will bid farewell to his mom and the training base, preparing to be reintroduced into the wild. Having gone through capture and relocation, Tao Tao refuses to come out of his cage. The conservation scientists have to sedate him in order to perform a thorough checkup before he could be released into the wild. Tao Tao is annoyed at being jabbed by bamboo poles and the syringe. While the tranquilizer is being administered, the young panda at first objects strongly, before eventually falling into a trance-like state. The scientists waste no time in carrying out a wide range of tests on his body, including on his fur, oral cavity, and running several blood tests. Several samples are taken from the cub for further laboratory analysis and research. Tao Tao weighs 42 kilograms, is 90 centimeters in length, his head is 29 centimeters wide, and his tail 16 centimeters in length. The circumference of his neck is 60 centimeters, chest circumference 81 centimeters, and belly 76 centimeters. His eyes, ears, and teeth are given a clear bill of health. Indeed, all tests prove Tao Tao is a healthy young panda. The conservation scientists have also implanted an ID chip beneath his skin and placed around his neck a GPS monitor, enabling scientists to be able to track his movements.
通过今天的体检，我们非常满意。我们看这个淘淘的体质，相当于优秀运动员的一样的体质。从他的身体发育的状况以及整个性别特征的发育状况都非常好。从他的行为来看，也和野生大熊猫几乎差不多。另外一点就是我们非常高兴的是什么？从他全身的检查结果来看，他的寄生虫非常少，和健康的野生大熊猫几乎没有什么区别。所以我们非常高兴。 而且我们通过今天的检查，已经把颈圈也给带上了。我相信这一点，我也期待这一点。当然，我不敢100%的打保票，但是我认为它很有希望，能够在野外健康的生活、健康的成长。
To make Tao Tao's release successful, Zhang Hemin and others draft several emergency plans. The release location, as suggested by experts, is at the Liziping Nature Reserve in Shimian County, Yan'an. This is an area needing to grow its native panda population. On the morning of October 10, 2012, reserve staff carefully load Tao Tao onto a truck for transport.
"当然了，因为我们毕竟是我们从小看着他长大，我们倾注了很多的心血。当然，我们最后还是希望他回到他自己的家里面去，自由自在的、快乐的生活。
The road from Wulong is muddy and bumpy, with the incessant rain causing poor visibility. With the long and unclear road ahead, the team prays for Tao Tao's successful reintroduction into the wild. At a stopover along the highway, the keepers give Tao Tao some drinking water and bamboo. As he enters the borderline of Shimian County, the local residents welcome him. It is difficult to continue on the rugged and narrow road towards the base, but after an exhausting 8-hour trip, the fleet that escorted Tao Tao finally arrived at his destination. On October 11, 2012, the State Forestry Administration and the provincial government of Sichuan hold the ceremony. Zhao Shucong, the SFA director, along with Yin Hong, the vice director, and Zhong Yan, the vice governor of Sichuan, opened the cage together. In their hearts, they hoped Tao Tao would rush out in a burst of youthful exuberance. To their disappointment, he is still asleep. Some people toss bamboo towards him in hopes of luring him outside his cage, but the young panda seems indifferent. Looking at his unfamiliar surroundings, he seems at a loss of what to do. This is the first time he isn't at his mother's side. Seeing that he's reluctant to step out, conservation scientists have to use a wooden board inside the cage to push the panda out. A bit hesitant at first, Tao Tao crosses over a brook and heads straight into the thick bamboo forest. In an instant, he is gone.
非常高兴，今天淘淘终于放归到野外了。我希望淘淘在野外能够很好的生存，能够很好的适应这个环境。当然，我更希望几年以后淘淘能够对这个野生种群有遗传贡献。
Since Tao Tao's entry into the reserve zone, conservationists have taken turns monitoring his GPS. The construction project of the new training base has been completed. Covering nearly 20,000 square meters, the zone is roughly divided in 3 sections, one for feeding pandas, one for the reintroduction program, and one for public education on wild animal species protection. The 3 bases at Wulong, Dujiangyan, and Bifangxia of Yan'an together form the China Conservation and Research Center for the giant panda. The CCR-CGP is the largest of its kind in China and is among the top institutions in the world dedicated to the research and protection of wildlife. 2012 marks the year of the giant panda's return home. On October 30th, as the Sangshe Pin base is put into trial operation, 18 giant pandas return to their new home. Some of the giant pandas have been raised in other nature reserves or zoos across the country after the earthquake, while others were born during the post-quake days. While enjoying a delicious bamboo feast, they still try to show off their cute side to the audience. In the spring of 2012, the 4th census of giant pandas is conducted in China, more than a decade after the previous one. If both the number and range of wild giant pandas in Wulong has increased, it will attest to the successful efforts of giant panda protection in the area. In October of 2012, Jinju and her baby panda are delivered to the reintroduction section of the base. A panda man has to carry the cub so it will feel comfortable enough to begin exploring its new home. The cub searches for its mom everywhere and is so happy when he finally comes across her inside the enclosure. The mother and the baby are at the second phase of the reintroduction program. 2 other panda cubs that received this training from 2011 have already moved on to the next round of training. Pretty soon, greater numbers of giant pandas would follow Tao Tao's footsteps back into their natural habitat. Looking at these lovely creatures, one cannot help but think of what Dr. George Schaller once said, that the childlike outward appearance of giant pandas enables human beings to learn about their attractive qualities, but more importantly, they symbolize our own human effort to protect the environment, and their presence refreshes our whole environment. People realize that China's natural resources are not just for economic gain. They must be properly maintained and preserved for the sake of not only its human inhabitants, but the animals that rely on it as well. As the autumn wind begins to blow, the winds that have made Li Zeping a green and luxuriant place are gradually turning yellow, and the whole area is shrouded in a misty and chilly air. No one knows for sure how Taotao will fare in the wild. Those who track his GPS signal have located him and are keeping their eye on him. Based on the data they have collected, the researchers have concluded the young panda has a very limited range because he's still getting used to things. Every move Tao Tao makes will be closely monitored. Regardless of his success or failure, he has blazed a trail for other pandas to follow, and is critical to China's efforts in reintroducing giant pandas back to their natural habitat.